Yo, what up with it? What up with it? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that's up out there right now, man. What's going on with everybody, man? I hope that everybody having a blessed day, man. Y'all up in here kicking it with me, man. Hit that like button one time for the algorithm for the boys and all that. We outside today. Cuban Dumas in the building. What up with it, baby? Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, man, we about to get up into it, but y'all already know, man. Coming from down south, my co-host, the best up out there, the Hurricane Killer. Cause I'm telling you, if you out there fronting and frying on the Miami Hurricanes, he will be to get you none other than the great Shad 1419. One time for your man. What up with it, dog? What up with it?
What up?
Yeah, man, you already know, man. You already nizzo, man. You about to go. But before we get up into the slides, man, it's the summertime. It's quote unquote the off season and all of that stuff, man. So you already know. We gonna go ahead and we gonna roll through some topics, man, because there's some things that be going on. But Twitter, I tell you, boy, Twitter is the content finder. I'm telling you, boy, there's some good content up on Twitter. Now, let me see if y'all can see my Twitter feed real quick. Let me see if I can get this pulled up for y'all. If y'all can see it, uh, if y'all can see the Twitter feed, come over on YouTube. If y'all, because I don't know if I see the Twitter comments or whatnot. Come over, come through join the conversation. Let me get this tab pulled up, man. But how you doing, Shay? How you doing out there? Everybody want to know how you doing, man. What's up? Where you going? You know.
I'm good. Just
Okay. All right.
trying to get to the crib.
All right. So we're gonna jump up into just a couple of topics, man. Just some before we get to talking about the fight. The fight is the main event, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the main event. We're gonna talk a little bit of Colorado too. We're gonna talk about it just a little bit. I seen the Coach Hayes primetime talk. I seen that. We ain't gonna get all up into that because Coach Hayes did not give me permission to react to that video, so I will not bring that up on this show. But I do want to talk about this offensive line and the defensive line of Colorado. All right, now y'all might want to stick around for it because I am not going where a lot of people think I'm about to go with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might be saying they doing good. You never know, but just stick around to find out about it. All right, you heard me. All right, so let me get this pulled up, man. So can y'all see my Twitter feed right now? Can y'all see that up on the screen? Let me see. Nope, y'all can't see that on the screen. Oh, I gotta add it to the stage first. Okay, so I like to get it pulled up like this or whatnot. That's how I like to have things pulled up. I'm not sure what's going on with Shad. What up, Auntie in the building? What's going on with it? Y'all be nice. The Mo Bangs in the building. You dig? Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know. You lagging a little bit, dog, but it's cool though. I'm gonna have to stop with the sound effects for now and just keep it rolling because I don't want you to freeze out or whatever. All right. But so this video right here in particular, y'all, it's just something quick, right? This is a diamond. I'm not sure if she's a social media influencer or whatever, but she's a transgendered woman into a man, right? But she got into a fight with her girlfriend or now that. Now I know this is a sports show, but this is also the real. If you want the sports and the real, you come here, and that's for the people who've been following me for a while. You know that's been my motto. It's just not always been about sports when I first started this. But anyway, but it's the offseason, so we're gonna talk about it. I ain't got to get all into explaining what's already understood. You dig? So,
you do that? Come on, just kill me. So you ready to die? I like that. Now she accept the consequences, and that's what I need.
Hold on. Run that back.
Come on, just kill me. So you ready to die? I like that. Now she accept the consequences, and that's what I need because I don't want to feel guilty about what I'm ready to do.
So, I know y'all heard that. She said her exact words was, "Go ahead and kill me." This is what the girl saying that got smacked. Diamond is the one y'all see on the video, okay? Say, yeah. Oh, now she accepting consequences for what I'm about to do. Now, people just thought this was funny. Everybody just laughing. They think it's funny. It's no big deal. It's etc. There's nothing that's really about this, right? There's nothing that's gonna come about this. But let this would have been a man, and I must say this: let this would have been a man on live talking about beating his woman or killing his woman or what he about to do to his woman. It have went totally different. The sad part is there's a whole bunch of women I saw here like, I want to find out what happened, what's going on, laughing about it and everything else. Like, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that on so many levels. I'm not feeling that at all. And I must talk about this because this is something that goes on that goes on out here, period. Now, whether people want to talk about it or not, I do. But look, you can't have it both ways out there with this domestic violence thing. I know it goes on both ways. There are women that are abusive towards their men or whatever it is, but you can't have it both ways. The women out here, women, and I'm coming at women. I'm telling the ladies. I don't know if I highly doubt it's the ladies who watch me that would be in the comments laughing at a matter like this. I highly doubt that. But just in case if there is any out there, I'm telling you that this is not cool. This is not cool at all, because if it was a man, y'all be dragging him, saying he going to jail, pressing charges, how much of a scumbag he is, how much whatever else went on. And I must say though, when somebody cheats on you and you're so invested in somebody and you're with them, you don't know how that person's going to react. The worst kind of person to ever deal with is an emotional being. You don't know how a person's going to deal with that right then and there. It's easy for a lot of y'all 100,000naires and millionaires to say, oh yeah, we'll just go ahead. Yeah, because I could probably because anybody that come past your path just probably there for money. But when somebody's out here and they're a regular hardworking person, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing that. They're just working their jobs and taking care of their significant other and loving that person. And they're so much vested into them. It's different. It's different out here. There's levels to things. You know what I'm saying? And I like what you said too. Auntie. She said abuse isn't funny, regardless of who's the abuser and the victim are. And look, they was laughing in the comments about it. They thought it was hilarious. I don't know if I should share the comments or not, but I definitely should. I definitely should pull up the comments because it's funny. Now look on the right side of there. It's just kill me. It's crazy. People laughing at it. They think it's funny. Little Meech out here tweaking. These are just the things that we gotta hear. This is freaky. This laughing out loud, laughing, women laughing. Like, come on, man. Like, this is like, yo, they're not even saying nothing about it. They're just look, they're not even saying nothing about it. It's just, it's sad, man. It's sad. It's just sad that nobody's taking that serious at all. Everybody just think it's a joke. You know what I mean, or whatever. But let me get up into some other things, man. I don't want to bore y'all on this topic and stick around on this topic too long. Let me see what Shad had to say. Is there anything you want to add up on this, bro, real quick before I move on to the next topic, bro? Because this is just opening, getting us started.
Hey, hands off.
Okay. All right.
Hands off.
Say no more. Say no more. But I'm going to speak on that because that was crazy to me. That was crazy. That was wild to me that they would even say that. Now, all right, before we get up into the offensive line, who is your most underrated Steeler of all time, bro? Your most underrated Steeler of all time.
Now,
in your opinion.
Bro, why you put me on the spot like this, man?
I mean,
you know I'm a Raiders fan.
Yeah,
you know how I feel about the immaculate,
Okay, so
Franco. But real talk, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to go with, and I don't know if you feel this way about him, right? I'm gonna go modern era. I'm gonna go modern era too.
Okay.
I know some people within y'all fan base feel a certain way about this young man, but I liked him dating back to his time at the University of Illinois, and that's Rashard Mendenhall.
Ooh.
I really like what he was doing. He was, like I said, him and Juice at Illinois. If you weren't watching college football at that time, watching Juice Williams and watching Rashard Mendenhall in the Big Ten, you missed out on some interesting stuff. But I'm about to go with Rashard Mendenhall. And to say this, and I'm gonna pass it back to you. I saw him on a podcast probably maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and he was just, he was talking about some things, and I was like, man, like, dang, where have you been, bro? Like, I remember like watching you and stuff like that. So just to kind of hear him talk about some of the interesting things about, his time being a Steeler. He was talking about a story, I think. And like I said, after this, I'm gonna pass it back to you. He was talking about a game where they played against the Ravens.
Okay.
And how I think he said, and I may be butchering it just a little bit, but I think he said the coach told him, say, hey, look, whatever you do, don't say anything to like Ray. Don't say nothing to Ray. We talk about Ray Lewis, right?
Right.
So he was talking about like he had got a nice little run on the Ravens, and he got up, he was talking, and I think he said, Ray said, I'm gonna put you out the game. So he said he got the rock again, ran it. Ray hit him, and he said he just thought it was a normal hit. He said he got up, trying to jog back to the huddle. Whole arm just went limp, like no movement at all. Yeah, so he said he ran to the sideline. Doc, trainer came back. Prognosis was, hey man, that man messed up your collarbone, bro. You out. And he said Ray told him he was gonna knock him out the game. Sure enough, Ray knocked him out the game. So yeah, I'm about to go with Rashard Mendenhall as my most underrated Steeler. But again, y'all have a illustrious history. You know what I mean? It's so many, especially with the names that y'all have over there. It's a lot of guys that can fall in there. But I'm gonna go with Rashard Mendenhall just to keep it modern.
Okay. All right. So if I got it, when we talk about Steeler running backs, and you're not a Steeler fan, what's the?
I'm a football fan though. I'm a football fan.
I get it. So you a football fan.
I respect it. You know what I mean?
If I said Pittsburgh Steeler running backs, who's the first two that come to your mind off top?
The first two that come to my mind, obviously, Jerome Bettis and Franco Harris.
Okay. Right. Exactly. Right. And then somebody younger might say Le'Veon Bell. Right. You think so? You think so?
Yeah. Right. Le'Veon and
So to me, I say an underrated Steeler to me. That's somebody that put in work. That's underrated. That don't get talked about enough to me, but was my favorite. I used to literally run around the hood like that's my dad. I used to tell people that.
I think I know who you about to say, but I'm listening.
Barry Foster.
Oh nah, I thought you were gonna say Slash.
Nah, not Court. No, Hex. Nah. See, a lot of people like Cordell Stewart, right? You know what I mean? But man, the things we heard about Cordell Stewart in Pittsburgh, bruh. It was a rumor. I don't know. It was a rumor. Now, so you heard the rumor too? You know what I'm going at with this?
Nah, I don't know where you're going.
Okay, so there was a rumor in Pittsburgh. Now we all from Pittsburgh. Then we got another Pittsburgh person. And hey, Auntie, get in the comments now. You got to back me up on this one. Now we know the Cordell Stewart rumors. He was up at Shenley Park performing fellatio on a man. Okay, so those are the rumors in with Cordell Stewart. That's why you never hear a lot of Steelers talking about his name too much. Like he don't even fit the mold. Now this is true. Now look, it's funny. It's funny. It's the truth though. I'm not saying that. Look, I'm saying a true rumor. Okay, this was a true rumor. Look. Hold up.
No.
She said, "Yep." She said, "Yep."
No, I wasn't even gonna talk about that. I was just talking about like, I'm gonna let you get back to you, but just talking about this underrated. And bro, I was just thinking about like, bro, like Joey Porter, Farrior.
I don't think he was underrated. I don't think James Farrior was underrated.
But I'm talking about I'm just speaking about like when you talk about like the glory years of the 70s and that echelon of guys. I think if you're talking about Steeler, you're not gonna bring up Joey Porter and James Farrior if you're talking about the linebacker and history. I'm speaking about underrated from that standpoint. No, they're not underrated, but I'm just saying from like how illustrious y'all history is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, man. You go and talking about Greg Lloyd. You talking about, man? We had a lot of linebackers. We linebacker factory. I would like to say Carnell Lake might be underrated a little bit. I think. What you think, Carnell Lake? What you think?
See, I'm saying I don't know him, so that's how. Prime example. I don't know him.
He's on the coaching staff. I'm not 100% sure if he's still on the coaching staff at the moment right now, but he was part of the coaching staff. He still might be. I gotta make sure because he was in and out of the coaching staff. That's why I'm not sure. He was helping out the DBs. Carnell Lake was one of our best DBs. That was back when Rod Woodson was putting in that work out there. Carnell Lake was out there getting it busy. Right. Yeah, Carnell Lake was getting busy. Part of them defensive backs on them teams right there with Rod Woodson and all that. So, yes, sir. He was definitely that other guy holding it down with Rod Woodson, Carnell Lake.
And Rod gotta be my favorite Steeler.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro. You gotta appreciate that. So, just to move on to something a little bit more funnier and lighter, right? I know you heard about the White family last name, nigga. Hey, look, the YouTube do not demonetize me. This is a real last name.
Yeah, Knigga. Yeah, Knigga. Yeah.
Oh, it's Knigga.
Yeah, that's where the K comes from. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hard K. Yeah.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Why you do that for? Nigga. Let me stop.
Yeah, you can show turn it into an expression.
Let me stop, man. That was funny. I thought it was funny, so I had to get it pulled up, man. But man, let's get up into some real things, man. I had to open up the show, man.
You're going to Eastern. He committed to Eastern Michigan.
Oh yeah. That's where I got it from. That's why I first seen his name up, but then I kept scrolling. Yeah, he went to Eastern Michigan, right? What is he?
Well, he committed. He committed. Oh, I don't know if he linebacker DB.
Me neither. That's why I asked you, bro, to be sure. So you know what I mean. Okay, so Buffton Prime. Shout out to Buffton Prime and all them boys up there doing that work. Shout out to Devil True. Shout out to Coach Hayes too. So.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to my dog Hayes.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Hayes, man. He had a man did you get to catch that episode?
Of course I did. I had to cut. I had to pop a couple Excedrin, but I got to the end of it.
I
had to get to it, bro. Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. This is what I always say, right?
Yeah.
And I say this about people in general. Okay. Like I tell someone like I can't say I don't like you. I don't know you personally. Yeah. I just don't like your personality. Like what you display to me may be completely different than how you are in like naturally. So I always say I don't like people's personality. So I say to say this. I'm not gonna say that these people are crazy, wild. I'm just gonna say that's the
they just off they rocker.
That's what you're presenting to me. That's the personality that you're presenting to me. But I don't know you personally because personally, you could be a really cool guy. I'm like, all right, yeah, we rock out. But you just got that one little thing. So I'm not gonna judge any of these people. But I'm just gonna say, Scary times out here, man.
Scary, man. Scary. So,
A lot of nasty work out here, man.
oh, nasty work.
A
Nasty work.
lot of nasty work out here, bro.
So and I'm watching South Coast. And so to be honest, so I'm going back and forth, right? And I'm trying to support the smaller channel. So I'm watching South Coast and Coach Hayes. I was watching it, you know what I'm saying, getting through it. But I had to play it back because I caught some things in there, right? So let's go all the way back to the beginning of the Coach Hayes crime talk. Okay. Now look, hold on.
That's when I first got the headache at the beginning.
Oh my goodness. So
we didn't even get all the way through it. I got the headache right there, and I like, God, I ain't even 5 minutes in.
It is returning production, or is retaining players, meaning that I just want to ask you a question because you know about returning production, retaining.
I already know you going, but I'm following. Okay. I already know you going, but I'm following. Let me see where you go to with this.
Okay, so when you returning production, that's not retaining players. They didn't retain shit. Everybody left again this year, correct? Am I tripping?
I think I saw that they had about 34 people leave.
41.
41. Okay.
41.
Okay.
They brought in 41. They lost 45.
Oh, my bad. My bad. That was Miami had 34. You right.
Yeah.
Bad.
Okay. Right. Yeah. And look. In all fairness, Colorado is not the only school who's losing.
Of course not.
They're not.
Of course not. Yeah. Of course
not.
Yeah. But we don't want people to, people get sensitive and say, oh, well, y'all talk about us and we, other schools. I mean, yeah.
Right.
Hey, everybody in the same boat.
What up, Bearstone Light Body? What up? What it do, fella? What it do? So in the beginning of that, I'm like, yo, he's like, Colorado's on the top list for retaining players. Like, no, y'all can't be. Like, that's not true.
It's not possible.
That's not true, buddy. I mean, he's standing on that though. I'm like, that's not true. You're not number and correct me if I'm wrong, right? So you're returning production means what does the definition of production, correct? I don't need to pull that up. Production, we know what production is, correct?
No, but you know what? To shoot some bail. Just a little bail over there.
Okay.
You may interpret production from a previous place and try to insert it over here. But that's not how it's calculated. It's calculated based on what you did at said institution, not where you're transferring from. That doesn't, it's like, how in college you say, do these credits transfer? No, these credits do not transfer.
Right. Okay. Right. Let's make that clear. Yeah, I got that, right? So the production that a wide receiver such as LeJohntay Wester going to Colorado, his production for FAU stays at FAU.
Yeah. Zero production at Colorado.
Zero production. So the returning production to Colorado being at 71% is so based off and on the fact that they returned Shador, Travis, and Jimmy Hunter.
Yeah.
That is their production. That was pretty much their offense last year. And they got Omarion Miller too, right? Mario Miller come back. He had a couple of plays too. So that's where the returning production number comes in at. Am I wrong? Correct me when I'm wrong.
You throw Shiloh in there, a couple guys. But yeah.
Okay, so that's why the returning production is so high. And I'm just saying this for people who, I'm not really trying to pick on nobody, right? It was funny though, but I'm just saying that's where the returning production number comes from. It's not.
But you know what? It's just like this, right?
Go ahead. I
always got to find a way to insert Miami fans into this, right?
Okay.
The graphic of we played this many. See, it's about context. Like, okay, well, Miami had this many freshman snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was 2,700 snaps. I did the math. Out of 2,700, about 5 guys made up 2,400 of those particular snaps. Right. Now, the other 300 snaps were solely special teams. Exactly. So if you're on if you're on kickoff, say you're on kick return, say you're on punt return, those 4 units, every time that you're on the field and go down there for either returning or going down there to make a tackle, that's considered a snap. So if you're kicking the ball off, if say you punt the ball 7 times,
Mm-hmm.
that's 7 snaps.
Right.
So you multiply that over 10 games, that's 70 snaps. And all you did
It's punch
was
the ball.
run down the field on punt. You see how
Right.
quickly they can add up. But but again, I have to realize that who I'm dealing with in these conversations. Not
Right.
pertaining to you, but but yeah, but back to you though.
No. You on point with it, bro. You on point. And that's all I'm going. And that's all I'm saying with this is like you gotta be sure. You gotta watch that because you know how people get in these arguments and they go ahead and they move on. Now when I was in what you call those on Twitter, the spaces. When I was in spaces with Delvin Truth, I did say that the line had been significantly better than last year's line to me. Now look, I was tripping. I gotta retract. I don't know. I was tripping. I was flustered. There's 20 other dudes. I'm like, I'm like, all right. When I got to looking at this, right now, listen, you really get to looking at Colorado's offensive line. And I'm trying to be honest, and y'all know I like Colorado, regardless what everybody want to think, just because I'm critical of them, and I'm going to tell it like you're real. And no, when I don't like something, I'm going hard at it. Period. Point blank. I'm not in between. There is no gray area with Truck and Chubby when there's something I don't like. I just go full fledged in, and then Shay got to tell me, bro, really back in, you going too hard, chill out, whatever else might go on. But I'm going all the way in. There ain't no in between with me when I'm talking about these things, right? So I get to looking at the line and I'm like, dang, there's really not that big of a difference when you really get to looking at it. And you really get to pointing out the players and where they coming from. You like, dang, but it's still better than last year's. I must say it's still better than last year's. It is. It just is to me. It just is the players are better than last year. I will give it that. To say significantly better, I know it's not significantly better than last year's. It's not, but it is better than last year's line. And all they got to do is show up a little wall for Shedeur to get enough time to get the ball and make the right read and hit the receiver. Now, oh yeah, I did say Happy Father's Day to everybody up out there. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there watching.
Happy Father's Day to the fathers and to the mothers.
Yes, absolutely.
Who say their fathers as well. So, inclusion.
So, all right. So Shad. So I was like, yeah, I wanted to touch on this a little bit with you because the offensive line, right? Khalil Benson in particular, this is who everybody's talking about. They're saying he's the go-to guy. He's the biggest guy there. He's been proven in the Big Ten. He only let up 1 sack in the Big Ten, but they're not talking about how many pressures he let up in the Big Ten, the games he struggled with in the Big Ten. See, I watch a lot of Big Ten football. See, that I can get the Big Ten channel with just putting the hanger in the back of my TV. That still works, by the way. Don't get it twisted with these digital TVs. That still works. I got the big booty box back TV. You could throw that. It still works. Trust me, it works, bruh. Now, and I get the Big Ten channel. So I'm not going to say that he did a bad job because he didn't do a bad job. And what they're showing you on Well Off Media is his strong suit. When a defensive lineman, when he sees a wide nine, and a wide nine is when that defensive lineman is way far out from the offensive lineman. Just for the people who don't know, okay, when they're in a wide nine technique and they're coming in rushing with him, that's his strong suit. He got a big first step. He's a tall dude, and that's a strong suit. All he got to do is shield him away to get the you know what I mean? He does good in the run, but the pass was his weakness. Now, the one weakness that I saw with Khalil Benson, other people, by the way, shout out to Rawhide Media. He did a great job breaking things down. I want to shout him out because he did a great job breaking things down. But the one thing that I seen with Khalil Benson, and I noticed even when I went back and looked, and I thought it was a problem from the jump, was that he struggled concentrating when they pull stunts, twist, the double. That's where Khalil Benson gave up sacks and did not know who to pick up. And that's what teams keyed on him with. They keyed on him. They knew they couldn't beat Khalil Benson one-on-one with anybody. He did a great job with the top 3 teams, I would say, with Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. He did a good job against them. By the way, Indiana was a couple of plays away from pulling them games off. They would start getting gassed out in the third, fourth quarter. The Hoosiers would, but he struggled with doing stunts, twists, and everything else. That was his weak point in letting people get in his head, even though he talks big, but that was his weak point. Didn't know where to pick up, wasn't communicating with what's his name that went over to Oregon, Matthew Befford. Him and Matthew Befford wasn't communicating a lot of the times. We get mixed up, not know who to pick up, and that's where he struggled at in the area, right? And a lot of the times Indiana seen that, and that's why they added the tight end or another offensive line, a six. They went six down on the line, whether it was with blocking tight end or extra lineman, and moved him in a little bit more because they noticed that on his side. Now, y'all go back and watch the film if you want to, but I'm telling y'all because this is what I seen. I did research and everything on this particular subject. Now, when that happens, and that down lineman, that's because they knew where his weak points was: stunts, twists, all that other stuff defensive linemen would do. They knew he was a mauler in the run game. The one you got to show the pressures too. Y'all have to, like, when you go to telling your fans about, because pressures count. Pressures count. Hurrying up the quarterback counts. He let up a lot of that. And against some teams who you think that he would not have let up against. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so Akron. They only beat Akron. Let me see. I got it. I had it written down somewhere. Let me they beat Akron. What was it? 29-27. Struggle. They should have skunked Akron, but they didn't. Indiana State, they blew them out of the water. And they beat Wisconsin by 6 points last year. But these is the games where struggled up. I thought only with the stunts and twists, but man on man, 1-on-1, I thought he did a fair job. You know, Maryland game, they had to go to 6 down linemen. But the one thing that Colorado does not have is a blocking tight end. Who is y'all blocking tight end? Seville Smalls? Is that the blocking tight end that they're going to depend on the outside? Because he's going to struggle in that area. And they're showing the strong suits on Well-Off, Dion Jr. He's doing a good job with showing it because you can't show the weaknesses on film. But that's why they keep saying him practice, because that's his strong suit, period. He likes doing that. But it was the smaller, quicker, faster guys that would get him. But I just wanted to add that in there. Now, you got anything you want to add up on there, bro, before we move on or whatever else?
I'm just gonna say this, right? And I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail on it because we've been on a Canes roundtable tonight. One of the things that the majority of our fan bases do is you look at your team, you look at the acquisitions that your team got, and that was one of the biggest things that I took away from Coach Hayes' show was that individuals focus on what their team got, and they don't pay attention because they're not watching the other teams. So you're assuming that just because your team got better, you're assuming that other teams are just going to remain stagnant and they're going to just allow for you just to ascend as if they're not going to ascend as well. So I say that to say this: Colorado's offensive line can be better this particular year. They're moving to a different conference. You know, some people feel like that the Big 12 is kind of cake, but it's like that's still operational. You know, the conference that y'all are leaving is defunct. So, and they just lost their two biggest drawers of income. They lost them, you know what I mean? But it's gonna be interesting, you know.
It is.
They had was a lack of offensive line because obviously if you are able to keep Shedeur up, but I will say this: keeping him up, you have to keep him up.
Yeah.
But his firing time has to improve because he was sacked 50 plus times last year. Every one of those 50 sacks were not just due to inept offensive line. Some of that was just on him and his head coach, also his father, try to take some of the blame off of him and just basically say, hey, look, either somebody ran the wrong route or you didn't get open. So,
They just
but
didn't know the assignments, man. It was a very I don't know why the offense seemed so complex to these guys last year. Do you think that they did not have enough time under a Sean Lewis offense to really grasp that with all the new people that came in and everything else? Like I just wanted to ask you that question because we've seen Sean Lewis's offense be very effective on the field, and for some reason it didn't work last year in Colorado.
well, I'll say this, right? We watched the past 2 years, right?
Right,
And in a Josh Gaddis and a Garrett Riley,
right,
the previous two Burroughs Award winners, both of them offensive coordinators, they go to a stop and the offense doesn't work. Now whether that's personnel, whether that's TOT, time on task, like you say, confusion, whatever the situation is, but usually it's usually that second year where
right.
things kind of go in the right direction if you are again 71% of the production is returning. So obviously maybe if they would have had Sean Lewis going into this particular year, I would have expected the offense to look a lot better. Obviously some people are under the again, I'm loose. I'm watching Colorado from Mississippi, right?
Right.
The only time this comes across is when you bring it up, or I just happen to check out Coach Hay show. But
Yeah,
apparently, they feel like the offensive coordinator that they have right now, he's going to be able to run a system that is better, and they're going to be able to do some things that are better. But at the end of the day, I mean, obviously, he took over play calling last year,
would you
so
blame Sean
there's some
Lewis?
familiar.
Would you
But
blame Sean Lewis for the offense being the way it was last year?
yeah, I do because I mean
Okay.
it kind of goes back to one of the things that Urban Meyer said, and Urban Meyer was one of the guys. I remember him saying this. He said like he never tolerated a coach telling him that a player could not learn what they were teaching them. He never tolerated that. So Sean Lewis, if by chance your offense is not working, then as a coach, it's on you
Make the
to
proper adjustments.
make the proper adjustments to make it work, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, again, some of that has to be, on Shadur as well. If you're holding the football longer than it needs to be held, if guys are not running the right routes, then you need to figure out, okay, why y'all not running the right routes? We need to work on things to improve your because again, that was the biggest thing that Colorado had last year
Mhm.
was wide receivers and they have some good receivers.
Yeah.
So not getting open, I kind of find it hard to believe. So maybe they were running the wrong routes,
Right.
or maybe some
Right.
miscommunication. Yeah.
Right. And it's going. I mean, and they still have the same. So we jump from the offensive line. We just talking to the team in total. So now they're gonna still face some of the same woes, right? Because now they implemented a whole new offense and Pat Shermer. Now he was because less correction out there. He was running Sean Lewis's offense at towards the end of last year. He did not implement a whole new offense. They are now running a Pat Shermer offense at Colorado, right? And it's kind of like the old players who was running Sean Lewis's offense, they are the only people who have to learn another offense. The other guys coming in are just learning a whole new offense. It's not like they're coming from a different one. All right. So the running game was working last year. It was. It just was. There was a couple videos out there. I've asked anybody that's out there watching that's want to know about it. Like I said, once again, I'll give them props. Rawhide did a beautiful job. There's a couple other content creators I can't think of right now off the top of my head that broke down the running game of Colorado because it was working. But with Shador being a Heisman hopeful this year and being talked about as being in the Heisman, do you think that they're going to run the ball this year? Now, we don't know this to be a fact or whatever. This is just us speculating and giving our opinion on it. But just the way that things are looking and adding up now, I honestly think that they're going to pass a lot because there's no other way that you're going to beat a Heisman as a quarterback if you don't have the stats to back it up. They're not going to say, "Ooh, damn, Shador handed that ball off so pretty on that play. Look at that handoff." They're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So what they have to do is he's going to pass the ball a lot in order to be a Heisman candidate. That's just what things is building up. If that is the case. So when it boils down, what do you think? Before I go to my next question, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's what you've recruited. You've built a team that's kind of, and I use this term very loosely, very loosely. But y'all are trying to recreate what LSU had in 2019, what Alabama had in 2020, in terms of having a dominant quarterback that pinpoint precision, and you got some guys that can make some plays. So I mean, and you do have the saying now where it used to be we're gonna run the ball to open up the pass, but now it's like okay, we're gonna pass to open up the run. So if they're able to get that pass to open up the run element, then I mean, they should be fine. But yeah, I expect them to. And that was one thing that I brought up to somebody on Coach Hayes' show one time. And I said, I looked at it and I just looked at the amount of time Shadur threw the
Mhm.
ball at Jackson State those 2 years and the amount of times he's thrown the football last year. And I just stopped and I said, man, I know athletes are better, but you do have like baseball where you got quarterbacks, not quarterbacks, but pitchers
A
that are
pitch count.
throwing the ball so much
Hmm.
and to the point that they have to, they're having surgery, Tommy John surgery at young ages. So I'm just looking at like Shadur has thrown the football. I'm sure if you look at like collectively over his 3 years, I'm sure the Shadur ranks right up there at the top in terms of guys that have thrown the football the absolute most.
Hmm.
So, and I mean, maybe they're not throwing it as much in practice. Maybe he gets a rest in practice, but they are going to have to hopefully get that balance of the run, open up the pass because you can't have the guy throwing the ball 48 times a game for over a 12 game schedule. Like that's absurd.
Right. The personnel that like great said, bro. Right, you said that wonderful, beautifully. And Colorado likes to run a lot of. I never really seen them do 12 personnel. They don't have the tight ends to go into 12 personnel. They don't have him. I mean, right now, as of right now, y'all don't have them on the books. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe y'all do got 12 personnel, but 11 personnel is mainly what Colorado's going to run. Single back, one tight end, three wide receivers, right? And that's more like a Pat Schumer, or would you say Pat Schumer, he likes what, 21? Do he like 21 personnel, two backs, one tight end? I don't know. It's Pat Schumer, but we know he likes play action. He likes to run the ball. He goes off play action. So we'll say 11 personnel. Well, just
And
for
then another thing too, like you said, when you got a quarterback like Shador, the thing that obviously Dion knows these things, right?
mhm.
And your quarterback needs to be able to have full command of the offense because that's going to bode well for teams that are drafting and say, okay, well, he had full control of this offense. And usually
Mhm.
those guys are successful early in their NFL careers because they understood the entire offense. And that was one of the things that, again, I watched Shadur at Jackson State, and that was the first thing that popped off. I said, look, he looks like he has full command of this offense. So Pat Shermer may want to run as obviously people love to hope things are going to happen, but at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to what Shadur as the quarterback, what he wants for the team. So
Mhm.
so that's why I got to say
In
about
my
that.
opinion, he's already going to be get drafted at quarterback. Um, I think that Colorado, me personally, I think that they could do great things. I got them at 6-6. I'm standing on that. I'm not going ceiling on floor. I'm going 6-6. They do better. I'm happier. Not, what I mean, my hoops they get high. Got them at 6-6. I do think that they could win a lot more games than that. But what's more important? This is what it is to me, and I'm gonna say it just like this: is a Heisman more important than winning? Which one is more important to Colorado? And I'm saying that in closing. Is it Heisman or winning? Because y'all can win and y'all can have a Heisman. You can have a Heisman at 5-7, 6-6, or you could win more games with having the run game implemented. So it's up to him with doing that. And I think he proves his leadership by taking the ball and putting it in and trusting his backs. I think that's what the leadership is. What more NFL? There's some NFL scouts out there that want to see that more in him, especially with all the way that they try to paint the narrative in the media and everything out there upon him. So I think that is going to help him get to the next level. You know, the JJ McCarthy type style, you know, hand the ball off if needed to. If you're running the ball and you get it 4 or 5 yards a clip, that's a good run. Shit, 3 yards to me is good. Shit, you run the ball 3 times, get 3 yards. I mean, that's 9 yards. You got one more. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's just me. I'm not no professional coach. I'm not a coach, so that's just me and my opinion on what I'm saying. But that's what I say in closing. Heisman or win for Colorado? Which one y'all want, man? All right. So can we moving on now? We moving on. We's on that. That's all I had to say on that, man. So one more. Let's get into one more little topic before we get to going. Right. I know you seen that big old contract that Trevor Lawrence got. Trevor Lawrence just broke the bank, dog. He broke the bank. I'm telling you, bro, $275 million extension, 5 years, 275. Man, the man just got paid, dog. He got paid. What you thinking upon that, man?
You know, I saw somebody today when you brought that up. I saw it on Twitter, and someone said it, and I may have to agree with them. And they said that, look, Shad Khan just paid Trevor Lawrence for what he did at Clemson.
Mm.
He's not being paid for what he's done at the NFL level.
Oh.
So, I mean, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, that's the market. So I mean, he had to get paid. He had to.
Right.
So that, I mean, that's a non-negotiable. But I mean, did they make the playoffs last year, or they were one game away?
It was a game away last year.
Yeah, it was a game away. So I mean, you got Peterson there, you know, who has a Super Bowl under his belt. So you may feel like the chemistry between him and Peterson is to a point that you will be able to unlock that level of what Trevor Lawrence can actually do from a potential standpoint. So, but as of now, I mean, that statement that's a true statement. You're paying him for what he did at Clemson, because you can't say you're paying for potential because you've seen what he's done up to this particular time, and those numbers are not numbers that warrant that type of money. I mean, this is not like Joe Burrow's second year team goes to the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so y'all haven't been to the playoffs. Now, obviously, we can't say that first year, you know, under Urban Meyer was a catastrophe, probably setting back in some of the development. Yeah, you can't say that, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, he has a great story. Like, literally, you have a guy that they spoke about had not lost a football game, period, throughout high school, goes to college, didn't, maybe lost one game or something like that. Like that game they lost to Ohio State. I mean, I think maybe that was the only one game that he's like ever lost. So I mean, he has a great story, but I mean, he's a franchise quarterback, so you have to pay him franchise quarterback money, whether or not he has actually shown that he's worth it.
Okay. All right. I could dig it, bro. I could dig it. I feel you on that one. So I mean, look, in all, with me, I feel like it's the market, right? And we can't dictate. And I don't really want to talk about, you know, we talk about it because it's a trending thing, and that's what we do. We give our opinion on it. Just two dudes talking sports, giving the fans perspective sometime. All right. So with this whole thing, and he just reset the market. Me personally, it scared me because we have Justin Fields. And coming out of college, they were 1A, 1B. Coming out of high school, they were 1A, 1B. And Justin Fields is going to show up for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I don't pay that type of money though.
And that's what I'm worried about. That's what
Y'all
I'm
don't,
worried about.
y'all don't pay like that.
But see, Omar Khan will though. See, Omar Khan will. See, our last GM, there was a problem with our last. There was a problem with him, and him and Mike Tomlin really didn't see eye to eye. But see, we the way that Pittsburgh roll is we just like to keep things like that out of the media, but they really wasn't seeing eye to eye. You know what I mean? Him and Omar Khan has a way better relationship, and they understand what's going on. Omar Khan is getting him his guys that he wants. They just gave Mike Tomlin a 3-year extension. Shout out
Yeah.
to Mike Tomlin for that, because I kept telling everybody, if Mike Tomlin is not there coaching my Steelers, that our Steelers is just an average football team. Everybody wants to play for Mike Tomlin, who's in the NFL. If it's not somebody like Andy Reid, if it ain't Andy Reid, it's Mike Tomlin. If I can ask players right now, just random 50 players in the NFL right now, who would they want to play for if they could play? They'd probably say Mike Tomlin or Andy Reid, one or the other. Because Andy Reid's he wins. He's a masterful, and because Mike Tomlin just knows how to relate to the players, he knows how to get the best out of average guys. Period. And that's what scares me. That's the only thing that scared me with that. When I seen it, I said, man, I don't know what we gonna do. But I'm gonna move on from that one though. I like what you said about that, so I'm gonna let Joe stick up on that. But I do want to mention this. So your boy Terrence Shannon Jr. beat the charges. Congratulations. There was a woman who had falsely accused him of the R word, and he got off. And I know that's your Illinois fighting alumni guy from the basketball team and everything else. But it's just it's sad to see some women play that role, and it seems like they're doing that more and more now, when there's really this type of thing happening to women who really need the help. But then you get these women who want to chase a bag and falsely accuse, and it don't help them. Now, and I just wanted to hear what you had to say on that before we get onto the topic. If you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. I know it's a little sensitive, but I know you like the Illinois basketball team. Terrence Shannon Jr. Is there anything you want to add on that, bro?
I mean, I'm just happy that justice prevailed.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right. All right, we'll leave it at that. Nah, that's cool. You know what I mean? Sometimes we do have a voice though. Some people watch us. A lot of people watch us on the replay. Shout out to that. But I need a lot more of my subscribers to go over there and subscribe to my man's channel, Shad1419. I need a lot of y'all to get up in there and go hit that subscribe button on his channel, man. Show him some love. He talks Hurricane, talk a lot of football. Period, point blank. Not just Miami Hurricanes, but he'll also talk other football. But yes, go over there and subscribe to his channel. Like all his videos, spam all his comments, all that. You know what I mean? Do all that what y'all do to me. All right. All right. I like it. So we're gonna move on to the slide now, y'all. We finally got the slide. It's here. The fight is here. Standing in the red corner, we got Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's go with the fight. Let's go. So the fight's here. Like I said before, I don't know if Gervonta and Calvin just be driving through Baltimore in a car going through the US in an RV or whatever. Like, oh, pull over. There goes Jim. Who the best fighter in here? You want to fight me? I don't know if that's what he do or not. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's what he does. I don't know. But I'm hearing Frank Martin ain't to be played with these hands. With those hands. Those hands, they said Frank Martin is legit. But also, Showbiz. Shout out to Showbiz, though. Y'all check out that. Listen, he said Frank Martin is weight drained again. Yet another Tank opponent seems to be weight drained. So, would you put money on Frank Martin right now? I don't think it'd be wise. I just don't think it'd be wise. But what's up with this whole Tank? You give me your take, bro, and then I'll throw in I'll give my opinion. But go ahead with your take, bro. The floor is yours.
I mean, this is what I'm gonna say about this, right? About the whole weight drain situation. I'm not gonna feel sorry for a fighter if you say that if the excuse is that, oh well, he's weight drained. You chose to campaign in that weight class. That's what you do. And you understand that I'm going to drain myself to make weight, bulk back up so I can have an advantage at a lower weight class because you go up in weight, those punches they hurt a little bit more. They sting a little bit more. So if I can stay down here where I feel like I have an advantage, I'm gonna do that. So I don't want to hear about Frank Martin being quote unquote weight drained. You chose the campaign at 135 pounds. Nothing is stopping you from going to 140 pounds and fighting the likes of T.O., fighting the likes of Regis Prograis, Sabril Matias. Nothing is stopping you from going up there. So I don't want to hear anybody say anything about you being weight drained, bro. You chose to stay at 135, or you choosing to campaign at 135. I mean, it is what it is.
Right. It is what it is, bro. Start fighting in your weight class. Start fighting in your natural weight class, bro. See, and we talk about this generation being soft, but whose fault is that? It's our fault. It is our fault as parents, as older cousins, as older relatives. It is our fault that this generation underneath us is soft because we had that cake and want to eat attitude. When they seen the way we reacted to things, they seen what we did. It is our fault. The generations are getting softer. And look, they may not be soft. They may not be soft, right? They may not be. It could just be, you know what I mean? We don't understand because this is what all the old heads say. This music y'all listen to nowadays. They were saying the same thing when Elvis and them was doing the twist. The twist was the music y'all listen to. It was all that. You know what I'm saying? This is every generation. But I must say that things have changed in such a drastic way. We're to the point where we cannot chastise our children without being criticized for that. The things that they're putting in our children's face. I have no problem with the way that you want to live your life and your lifestyle choices, but that does not mean that you have to subject my child to that, to the point where I have to tell my 10-year-old daughter I will chaperone a date with you and another young man, because there's just ideologies I support in my household to where you might not yours, but that what you do is just fine. That does not mean we can't get along. But what am I this going all this to say about the way people do not want to get hit? To give a punch, you gotta be able to take a punch. Believe that. I am short. I am stubby. I've been this way my whole entire life. I've been this way my whole entire life. 5'5", 230 pounds. I am solid. All of it ain't fat. And I got big sausage fingers, and I got a right hand, and I don't box. But I done knocked some big boys the heck out. And yes, believe it, I could take some punches. I done been hit by this dude that was 300 pounds. Boy, it felt like an anvil fell on my head. But I ain't fall. But I took that punch. And at the end of that rumble, big dude looked at me and said, man, you got heart. And at the end of the day, you a professional fighter. That's all it takes. Go to your weight class. Thank you, Chad, for saying that. Thank you, bro. For real. Thank you for saying that. Fight your weight class. You want to try to drain your weight down so you can go and try to fight a Gervonta Davis or that, man, let them people fight in a weight class. But one thing I will say, though, that Tank does have to go after some bigger names, though, bro. He do got to start fighting some other stars. Now, if he want to retire, go ahead and retire, walk in the sunset. It's all about getting your money. You got your money. But you going to just keep pulling up at the Gold's Gyms and fighting anybody that's out there in the gym, just pulling up to the nearest boxing gym. You know what I mean? You want to go to Dojo's boxing gym and just be like, who the best fighter here? Oh, you at 135? Okay, I'll take him. Like, you just taking anybody out here, bro. But they're going to be able to do that if us as the fans keep supporting this ish, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially casual fans. You know what I mean? I can say if you're a true boxing fan and you understand the weight classes and how people fight and everything else the ins and out of boxing, if you understand all of that. But when you got casuals trying to support this stuff, like, man, people got to stop doing that. But I guess you could sell anything to anybody as long as you could talk good. You can get it up out of them nowadays. But I don't know, man. I said a lot there, man. I got to slow down a little bit. I said a lot there. I said a lot. I did, bro. I said a lot, man. I really did, man. But y'all make sure, man. Look, I don't know, man. I wish there was I think Javante is gonna pull this win off in this fight.
So you got Tank.
Yeah, I got Tank, man. I got Tank winning the fight, man. Because even though Frank Martin is fast and elusive, Tank is just he doing backflips, bro. He doing backflips before the fight, bro. I mean, and what I'm saying about with that is that his energy level is through the roof. Tank dedicates himself to fight, and if you're going to fight at a lighter weight class than what you are, then train at that weight for months. Keep your weight down. Be disciplined in boxing. Don't try to walk around 170 or well, I don't know how heavy these dudes be, but and then try to drain your weight for a fight. You know what I mean? Like, stay at that weight, man. You know. She said Chubb's damn near everyone Tank has been fighting has been winning. Okay. So what that mean? He said, what are you talking about? Rolly is another person who lost to another Tank opponent. Okay. What did we talk about, Cuban?
Oh, he's talking about when you talk about Tank needs to fight some more names.
Yeah.
And I mean, no, the level of competition Tank has fought. I mean, the guys were undefeated, but these guys, it was a particular style that Tank does well against. And that particular style is what he's done well against guys that don't
have that
necessarily have
style.
they don't necessarily have the footwork, come forward fighters such as like Isaac Cruz. He
Okay.
fought a Yuri Yokas Gamboa, who earlier when Terrence Crawford fought him was a much more revered fighter. Fought
Barrio.
a Mario Barrios. I give him credit for that. He did go up to 140, and he beat Barrios, who just recently beat what's my guy Udanis Ugas.
Okay.
He beat him at 147 beat him at 147. So I mean, currently I would say that's Tank's best, name on a resume, and I would instantly put Frank Martin's name right there at number 2, just because of the style that Frank Martin has. I think what's going to be what this is, and it reminds me of something that Terrence Crawford said in an interview, and they were asking him, kind of like about tough fights, and the first name he brought up was like Yuriorkis Gamboa, and he said the reason he brought up Gamboa is because Gamboa was a big puncher and Gamboa was quick. So Crawford, up until that point, had been used to being the faster, quicker fighter. So when you watch that fight, Crawford was trying to time Gamboa, but he was getting hit because the timing wasn't there because he wasn't used to someone being that fast. So I think that's something that Tank Davis is gonna have. This was something that Tank is gonna have to adjust to in this fight, just how quick Frank Martin is if he's gonna time him. But another thing that's also in Tank's favor is his experience in the ring. And Leonard Ellaby said as much at one of the press conferences where he talked about where Tank was at in 2017 and where Frank Martin was at in 2017.
Okay.
So some people look at that as one or two ways. Some people look at it as, man, look at what Tank accomplished, and then some people look at it like, oh, so you telling me that a guy in 2017 wasn't even a professional, but now he deserves to be in a ring with Tank Davis?
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay. But I do think that is something that he's gonna have to deal with. And then obviously the thing about Frank Martin, he's being trained by Derrick James. Frank Martin,
he's one of the best in the business. Correct me, right? Derrick James is one of the best in the business. They say,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Not taking anything away from him, but he teaches a style that is kind of like he wants Frank Martin to fight like how he had Errol Spence fighting. Frank Martin is not that type of fighter. Frank Martin
Mhm.
is a guy that has immense quickness, and the style that Derek James has been teaching him. And I've watched Frank Martin's last 2 fights. Now, the fight that he fought against Michelle Ali Rivera, tailor made, because Ali Rivera wasn't necessarily using a lot of head movement. He was kind of standing right in front of Frank. So when you're standing right in front of somebody, their style looks impeccable, which is why a lot of people were so intrigued when Errol Spence dismantled Ugas. But then when he got in there with Crawford, it's like we got to come up with all type of excuses of why this happened. It's like, no, styles make fights. Some
Mhm.
styles are just terrible matchups. But I'll say this: if Frank Martin goes in there and fights a Derrick James type of game plan against Tank Davis, he gonna get stopped
Okay.
early.
Okay.
But if Frank Martin uses his quickness, keeps Tank off, because I think he has a reach advantage against Tank. He's a little bit taller than Tank too, which some people say that's kind of hard to do when you're punching down on a guy. That's kind of hard to do as well. But Tank has a nasty uppercut,
Don't he? Don't he though?
nasty left hook. So Frank, he's gonna have to keep his head on a swivel. He's gonna have to keep moving. He's not gonna have to be. He can't be in there flat foot. And one thing you're not gonna, Frank Martin, whatever you do, do not make the same mistake Rolly Romero made, thinking that you can walk Tank Davis down.
Because you ain't. Because
You're gonna be
he
just
set
like
up
you're gonna
trap.
be just like Rolly,
Mm-hmm.
walking out of the ring, wondering where you at.
Where that punch came from? Where that come from? Now you know I gotta troll a little bit, Cuban Dumas. This is entertainment, baby. I gotta troll a little bit, man. Tank Davis. Tank Davis is Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a gate fighter. And first of all, let me put this disclaimer out there. I can't call none of these boxers and say none of them ain't good because they're way better than me. They are
No,
training at a
but
very vigorous level.
but you got to say it like this. This is the way I say it, right? I won't call it. I'm not gonna call like a football player trash because you made it somewhere I didn't make it.
Right, right,
But compared to your peers, you're not,
right. Okay,
and that's what I'll say.
okay,
So
okay.
compared
Okay.
to Tank Davis, so compared to the guy like Tank Davis, the guys that he's fought, the majority of the guys that he's
Are
fought,
they on his level?
y'all are not good. Y'all are not on
Right.
Tank Davis level.
Okay, right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So let me correct that. For just for you, Cuban. See, since so I don't get fined from Cuban Dumont. So I don't get fined from my moderator. Okay. They are not on Tank's level. They're just
No,
not. They're
no,
not.
they were mismatches.
They're not. And in and Shakur Stevenson gotta be next on that list. Who's next? If you just had to get your Miss Cleat, your Miss no, I ain't gonna say Miss Cleat, that's old.
No,
But
he's not gonna fight Shakur next.
you don't think he gonna fight him?
No, he's not gonna fight Shakur
Because
next.
Haney ain't going to 135. I
No,
know.
because I'm gonna tell you why he's not gonna fight Shakur next. Because they still got that excuse in their back pocket that he's not. His style is boring, and it's not the fight's not gonna sell. That's a fight that hardcore fans want. That fight, in order for it to make sense to Gervonta Davis, is either one or two things got to happen. He has to get in excess of, in my opinion, maybe
Mhm.
80, 90% of the overall purse,
Oh,
or Shakur Stevenson has to go out there. And his first fight at 135, I thought was very impressive. What Shakur Stevenson had, very, very impressive. Showed some power, all that stuff. But then he gets in there with I is it? I can't remember the guy's name,
for
but
sure.
you're running around the ring. But I mean, he was a good fighter as well. So you really need to rematch that guy and show that you said that you were injured in the fight, or go out there and beat him.
Right.
Don't just sit there
Mhm.
and throw 4 or 5 punches and run around the ring. Like, actually show
Fight.
us that. Yeah,
Fight.
show us that how you can stand right in front of him and make him meet Edward De Los Santos. That's his name.
Hmm.
Go fight Edward De Los Santos again and put on a more convincing performance. And then you can probably get to it. But no, I don't see Tank Davis fighting. No, I don't see Tank Davis fight Shakur. He said he got a 6-7 fight deal, and Shakur is on that deal. But I don't know where we are on that deal. Is Frank Martin number one, or is
Right.
this number, because he was prior to his arrests last year. Tank Davis was scheduled. Well, he was on tap to fight 3 times last year, but obviously
What
he
up?
ended up getting arrested, so he
What
only
up,
fought twice.
LMB? I don't mean to cut you, bro. I don't mean to cut you.
No, I
But
was
yeah, I
finished.
get it. I get it. I get it. And if Tank is going to do Tank. And yes, of course, I would say that Haney was on his line. I still think that Haney. I just don't think Haney's going to fight at 135. That's not going to
No,
happen.
no, no,
And
no.
Javante ain't going to move up to Haney's weight. Javante's not going to move up to Haney's weight. We know that. Tank don't need to move up. Let me clarify. Tank needs to stay right where Tank is at. He's a natural pound for pound 135 fighter. He's very good at that weight. I'm just saying, like, can we get some names that more people that the casual boxing fan knows about? People who don't really watch boxing just watch it because all the fellas is getting together watching the pay-per-view and all that, and they don't know who dude is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So
But
I mean, it's a big. I mean, it's a big. Like I said, it's a big step for Frank Martin. I think. But
I think Haney need to move up and weight. What you think?
Nah, if he can't, nah.
I don't know, man. That
Nah,
Garcia,
140, 147. They punching up there.
Are they punching?
They punching up there.
I don't know.
They punching at 40. Even though his body says he needs to go to 47, maybe even 54, but they doing some punching up there, man.
Man, listen, man.
They doing some punching.
He did,
up there,
but that's still my dog. Haney got dropped, got dragged by Garcia, but that's still my guy, man. I still like Devin Haney.
I'm gonna tell you one. I'm gonna tell you like this, right? They punching so good at 47 that there's some guys who've been at 40 that have opted to stay at 40. Josh Taylor, who was unanimous at 140, had the option to go to 47, right? Because he was undisputed, not unanimous. He was undisputed at 140. Obviously, the WBO title gives you the right that, hey, look, if you go ahead, he had the opportunity to fight Terrence Crawford at 147. He opted not to do it. And Josh Taylor's a big 140.
All right. Well, that's it.
Same thing. You know, so like Subriel Matias, I think they're fighting tonight on the zone. Subriel Matias is fighting. So I mean, and there's some guys that want. I mean, like, and you make a great point. There are some guys at 135 to where Tank doesn't have to go to 140. Like a guy that I love, Keyshawn Davis, who fights out of that Bud Crawford camp. I love him. I really like win, lose, or draw for Frank Martin. That's what I want Frank Martin to get in with next, right? So I mean, it's some heat at 135. You still got Gary Russell Jr. Like it's some heat at 135, but like you say, from a casual perspective, we don't necessarily know these names because in reality, you know Tank Davis, he's at 135. You know a couple of fighters at 140. You knew some guys at 47, but those guys are phased out, like the Keith Thurmans, the Danny Garcias, Bud, Errol. You know those guys going up to 54, right. And then you jump all the way from 47. Then you get to 68, Canelo, Benavidez, and then you go up to 75, where you got, you know what I mean, Bivol. And so I mean it's a gap, and then you got Beterbiev, nasty, and then obviously you got Alexander Usyk at heavyweight. So really, you only really know fighters kind of like one or two weight classes, and then you know a guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's this
from a casual perspective, and I consider myself. I am a casual. I'm not a hardcore boxer. I'm not a hardcore fan.
Man.
I'm a casual,
man. But thank you. That's what I'm saying, though. So that's what I'm saying. Thank you, man. But before we get on up out of here, man, I gotta say something about this dumb little. It's not even true, right? Great take, by the way, bro. But I had to mention it because where's this Glory Colorado newspaper online magazine? What is that? They said it was mandatory for people to go to a Lil Wayne concert from Colorado. That's not true. But you say what you say again? Go ahead.
They were saying because Shadur was performing.
Yeah. Yeah, because Shador was performing that it was mandatory to go to a Wayne concert or something. They said they didn't address it, of course. They never say he didn't really say no, but they said it wasn't true. But there was they put a name on it. But see, the thing where I get twisted at is who told y'all that? Put a name on it. Put a name on it.
Hey man, any publicity is good publicity.
Put a name on it. But that's just crazy saying some of the transfers had left because of and they get you wondering, like, man, what, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't believe everything you read, that's for sure, or everything you see nowadays. But just to say that, like, man,
but in reality, I mean, who's to say well off media didn't put it out?
Hey,
do
man.
social media check, bro.
Oh man,
bro. How much? Not pocket watching, but what you think Bucky making a month just on social media?
I don't know.
No clothes, like not even including the clothing, not including maybe some pop-up shows.
You mean just by off of views?
Like however people get paid off social media, which obviously is engagement and stuff like that. Like, what you think Bucky putting in his pocket? Like after paying everybody, what you think Bucky is? What you think Bucky is netting a month?
A little chunk, but all through though, I think he doing well off. He doing well right now for himself.
Man,
because social media helps everything else, the sales of his merchandise, everything else. So.
Man, Bucky probably. I'm talking about after taxes, everything. Man, I wouldn't be surprised Bucky putting 250, 275 in his pocket,
Easy, huh?
After paying everybody, paying taxes, just off of social, because like, bro, this is like we talking about it, national media talking about it, people who are not even sports fans are talking about it. So I mean, it's like, why not? Why not put out something fake like that? Why not?
Right. Exactly. You're right about it. You are absolutely right about that, bro.
Why not?
I don't know. Because you gotta troll. You gotta troll. They ask me. Why you act like that? I was like, because I gotta be the villain. Everybody can't be like somebody gotta be the villain in the story. Ain't that the truth? Somebody. Y'all troll me, I'ma troll y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But man, hey man, I like that show. Hey Cuban, man, you on next week, man. We going next week, Friday, 8:00. Y'all be here. We are going live. We gonna have a great show. I think today was a good one. I like the topics we got into, even though you ain't touch on a lot of them. But it's all good though. It's all good. It's all good. You know what I mean? Because everybody can't
be but you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, right? For real. I used to do a podcast, like a podcast. We call it the Paradigm 132 podcast.
Okay.
It's still episodes up though. It's on all streaming services. So that's the different side of Shad over there.
Okay.
I like that. I address the type of stuff over there. So
well, maybe you should invite me on that because I got a podcast too. So it's picking. And it's kind of weird.
I mean, like I say, I like to try to keep it. We're gonna talk sport because what I do. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this is what it is though. This is what it is. If you say we talking sports, then the whole day before the show, like literally, when I got off work this morning at 5. Like I go in I get like 5 p.m. I'm at work. So from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. when I'm not actually doing my job, I'm thinking about, okay, this is what we're talking about, like on the show. And then like if I got a Canes roundtable, I'm like, all right, so these are the points I'm gonna talk about. So my mind is like on sports. But if you tell me like, oh well, bro, we're gonna talk about some social issues, like you hit me with the situation about Trump last week, I'm like, my mind went on that. You know what I'm saying? But if you let me know beforehand,
okay,
bro, we can talk about this. we can talk about it. But like I said, I have to know because that's kind of what I am. I throw myself into what it is that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? I really don't even be on the I just be like, I just want you, you know what I mean? What you think about it real quick? Just something, you know what I mean? Just one of them fire starters. Ain't really that research.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We can get into it, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Because just like again, another prime example, we were talking about the Negro Leagues, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about that. But like I said, I came from it like, all right, we talking about the sports aspect, right? So like when I get in that zone over there, we can get over there and do that. Ain't no problem. But when I come over here, it's like I'm just like, all right, we talking sports. So when you throw some of that stuff out there, I'm like, dang, I ain't really, my mind ain't even thinking like that, because I'll forget like talking points. Like when we get back on sports, like I want to stay there. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah. But
I'm bipolar. Blame it on me. I'm being bipolar and being my mind everywhere and back and forth. Blame it on me. That's my fault. That's my fault.
Yeah, we good. Yeah.
It's all good though. Hey man, but I want to leave y'all with this message. I don't know. You just tell me, rate the bar, rate this bar, right? Rate this bar, Shad. So when you're in the midst of things, you are still getting wet. And around those who are already soaked in knowledge. Mist. When you are in the midst of things, you are still getting wet. And around those who are still soaked in knowledge. Rate that.
That's tough.
It's tough?
It's tough.
He lying. You see his
I'm
face?
not lying. No, bro. No, I'm not. Like that's tough. Because like when you said it, when you first started the bar, I said, bro, about to kick some up north shit. It ain't gonna be no south shit. It's about to be some of that, poor righteous teacher, some of that God body MC stuff. Like, so I already know where you were going when you said rate this bar, because dudes in the south, we ain't like rate the bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we just like minute ride, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah.
All right.
That's tough though, for real. That's tough.
All right. I just wanted to leave y'all with that real quick. Some food for thought, man. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to Shad's channel, Shad 1419 now.
K's Roundtable tonight, 7:30 Central Standard Time. We're gonna have a actual football discussion tonight. We're gonna put the trolling away. At least for tonight. We'll get back to trolling tomorrow. We're gonna have a real conversation tonight.
Am I invited? Can I come on the round table?
Bro, open invitation, bro. You always
open invitation. Okay, open invitation.
Yeah,
I'll be through. I'm gonna turn it on. I got my phone, so I probably won't be on my face. But y'all make sure y'all go over there. The Canes Roundtable is popping off on Shad 1419. Miami Hurricane Talk. They get up into the real up on there. I thank everybody for coming through in the chat. Thank you, Kimber Dumas, being the moderator. LMV came through, showed some love today. Aunt Mo Baines dropped in the chat, and all those who are just back there just watching and enjoyed us. I appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. Man, salute. Have a good night. About to go hop on the grill, get this steak going, baby. Y'all know how we giving it up out here.
Want to see Truck and Chubby live with co-host Shad? Tune in at Fans Point of View, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. But in the meantime, in between time, enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit your notification bell for all updates. Thank you for watching.